Good morning children. Today we are going to see the last portion of the fifth lesson, which is discussing about the transfer of heat. We already discussed heat is a form of an energy which will flow from a hotter object to a colder object. Okay, so the heat energy will always flow from the region of higher temperature to the region of lower temperature until both the regions attain the same temperature. And this phenomenon is called transfer of heat because the heat is being transferred from the hotter body to the colder body. So this is transfer of heat. Okay. Now we are going to see how the transfer of heat is happening. It is done by three modes. Okay. It is either by conduction or convection or radiation. So conduction, then convection. VECTION, convection and radiation. Now we are going to see the explanation is given for all these three modes of heat transfer. Okay. Now what is this conduction? Conduction is the transfer of heat from the hotter part to the colder part. Okay, without the movement of the particles. Okay, that means the particles will not move at all. Okay, the moment you read this part, that is the particles don't move at all, the thing which should immediately come to your mind is the solids. Because in the solids only, the molecules are so tightly packed that they cannot move at all. Is it not? So, this particular form of transfer is very, very applicable in the solids. Okay, so that is what they have given in the next line. So this conduction will occur with solids and between the solid substances because they are in direct contact with each other. Okay, that is they are in direct contact with each other. Okay, because that is what the closely the particles are arranged in the solids. So the solids are the best conductors. So the word conductor is coming from the word conduction only. So what do you mean by conduction? Conduction is nothing but the heat is transferred where the molecules are tightly packed. That is, there is no movement in the particles. Okay. Now, how is this conduction occurring? Okay. We know that the particles are closely packed in solids and they cannot move, but they can only vibrate. Okay. So, when the solid is heated, okay, then the particles will start vibrating. Then this vibration will cause the neighboring particles to start vibrating. So that is how this vibration is spreading. Finally, the entire solid is heated up. Okay. So the basic principle behind the heating of the solids is the vibration of the particles in their fixed positions itself. That they are not moving at all. They are sitting in their same position and they are being vibrated. But once the vibration is exceeding or it is reaching, it will be transferred to the neighboring ones. That's it. Okay. Then the rate of conduction is different in different solids. That is, materials which allow heat to flow through them easily. Easily means there is no hindrances or laziness illama which will make them heat to pass through them very easily are called conductors of heat. We have metals. Metals are the very good conductors of heat. Then coming to insulators. Insulators means opposite of conductors. So insulators means that they do not allow flow the heat. Okay, example you have this rubber, cotton, clay, etc. Is it not? Our cooker handle you take. Cooker lid is made up of stainless steel or any metal. Okay. Whereas the lid, the handle in the lid is made up of wood or it should be in the form of a rubber. Okay. Or some plastic. Because they are the insulators. We cannot catch the handle when the cooker is so hot. So only the insulators cannot allow the heat to flow through them. So in that position we will be having a insulator. Okay, similarly, there can be many handles where we will be using wood, is it not? For the utensils, when we are handling the dosa and all, we will be having wooden handles. Okay, dosa tawa and frying pans and all will be having wooden handles, so that we will not be getting the heat inside our hands. Okay. Now, what are the practical applications? Very the same examples which we have discussed. This is the frying pan, this is the conductor, and this will be the insulator. Okay, so pans and the clothes. Okay, the clothes made of fur trap inside the air, and this air will act as the insulator. So this will escape, or this will prevent the heat from escaping the body. So it will keep our body warm. That is during this winter season. Say now this is a winter season. Every day morning you will be feeling very cold. The moment you wear the sweater is made up of fur or wool. Okay. So those materials will trap the air inside them itself. So that what will happen? The air will not circulate. Only when it circulates, the heat will be transferred. So when the air is not getting circulated, our body temperature is maintained, or our body is kept warm. Okay, now coming to the next mode, which is called convection. Convection is same, the transfer of heat, but the movement of heated particles is there. That means there is a slight movement. Okay, so this obviously will occur in the fluids where the intermolecular distances are more. That is, there is space between the molecules. Where does it occur? It will occur only in liquids and gases. Okay, because in both liquids and gases, the molecules are loosely arranged and there will be space between them. Is it not? That is what this is activity is also showing. This will be doing, we can see at home itself. Okay. That is, you take a kettle, fill up with water, half the kettle with water, and you can leave it on a stove and you can light the stove. What will happen? The water will not directly start boiling. It will take time to boil. Okay, but by then you can see the small bubbles. That means small bubbles which will pop and it will go down. That is, it will directly go and settle down. That is what the movement of the heated particles. The moment the water is getting heated, it will start circulating. That is what it's here. See, when the liquids or gases are heated, okay, the heated molecule will rise up. That is, it is getting lighter and it will rise up. Okay, this is what the example I have shown. So when the water is heated in a vessel, water at the bottom will first get heated. It will go up, and it will become colder. Okay, and then it will become heavy there when it comes to the surface. Then it will burst and it will come again back to the bottom. That is, it will sink. So this process will be continuing and it will be setting the circulating. Then the moment nearing the boiling point, that is till before the boiling point, there will be, you can see there will be rapid circulation of the water. Okay, those are called convection currents. So this is how the entire volume of water is heated. So what is this convection? Convection is the transfer of heat when the movement of heated particles is occurring. Okay, then coming to the land breeze and the sea breeze. Okay, so this is based on the convection. This is based on the convection of the gases. Okay, how is this happening? During the daytime, first you take the daytime. What will happen? The sun rays will be on the earth or on the land. Okay, so the land is heated up more. Okay, the land is heated up more. So we just now saw when the particles, that is the liquid or gases, when they are getting heated, they will start to rise up. So the warm air will start to rise up. Okay, it will become lighter and it will rise up and it will flow over the sea. Whereas the sea breeze, which is cold, it will flow inside the land. So it is coming from the sea. So this breeze is called sea breeze. Okay, now coming to the night situation. In the night, the land will be getting cooler, more cooler, whereas the sea will be little warm. So what will happen? The warm wind or the warm breeze or the warm air will go up because that is lighter. So it will come to the land, whereas this denser or the heavier cool air will go to the sea. So this is called land breeze. From the land it goes to the sea. So that is called land breeze. From the sea it goes to the land. So it is called sea breeze. So it is all happening during day and night. So during the day land is getting heated. So the air in the land is warm. So it will move up. The moment it moves up, the sea breeze will come in. Okay. The same situation will occur in the opposite in the night. How? During the night sea is warm whereas the land is cold. So the sea air or the breeze above the sea will be lighter. So it will rise up. And the moment this rises up, the land air will move towards the sea. So that is called land breeze. Okay. Now where are we using the practical applications? The exhaust fans in the kitchens. Okay. They are fitted high, close to the ceiling, so that they can remove the hot air when it rises. Is it not? When we are cooking, obviously the heat energy will be circulating in the surrounding air also. So it will be rising. So the exhaust fans are fitted high near the ceiling. Then the room heaters. Okay, the room heaters are placed on the floor of the room. Why? Because the air will be heated and it will rise up. Okay, and the cold air will come to the bottom. Okay, then again it will be heated by the room heater. And the ventilators are placed above the window because the hot air, when it is rising, it should go out, because we don't want the heat air in the room. So the heated air should go out, and through the windows we will get the fresh air. Okay, now coming to the third one, radiation. So this radiation is nothing but, we saw the first situation, conduction for solids, then convection for both liquids and gases, and now this radiation is nothing but, this is in the transfer is form of the waves or rays, where there is no medium. So there is no medium at all for the case of the radiation, because heat energy will always travel in the form of waves. This is a very, very important one mark. Heat energy will always travel in the form of waves. This much you should know very much. Then these waves will not require any medium to travel. So the radiation is nothing but the transfer of heat in the form of waves without any medium. Okay, like in the morning time, say around 10 to 11 or 11 to 12, you stand outside, you will be feeling the hotness, or you will feel the sun directly on your skin. Is it not? So that is nothing but the solar radiation, because the sun's waves or the heat energy from the sun will be traveling in the form of waves. Then they do not require any medium, and the medium, without the medium, they can just very well pass through air and water. Okay, so they will immediately come to Earth's surface, then it will can attack us. So from here only we get this UV rays, the radiation problems and all. Is it not? So the radiation is nothing but the transfer of energy in the form of waves. Okay, so that is what they say. All hot objects radiate heat. Okay, all hot objects radiate heat. So when the heat falls on the object, it is absorbed and the remaining is reflected. The heat absorbed, okay, will depend upon the several factors like the nature of the surface, the distance from the source and the color. Is it not? Say, we will be saying black objects will absorb more heat because black is in dark color. They are good absorbers, whereas light colors are poor heat absorbers. Okay, this is one condition, because the color will play a part in absorbing the heat, because the body will absorb the heat and it will start emitting again in the form of radiations. So the dark body will affect more heat, or it will absorb more heat, and later it will leave. Okay, so and the object close to the heat source will receive more, that we know, because the planet system itself, the Mercury and Venus, the two planets are very close to the sun. So there is no life, or there is no living organisms in those two planets, because the those two planets are heavily high. The temperature is very high in those two planets, whereas Earth is at a moderate distance from the sun. So what is happening? The light energy and the heat energy are optimum for all the living organisms to survive on the Earth. So the two things will be mainly the distance and the color. Dark colors absorb more heat, whereas the distance is when it is close to the source, the body will absorb more heat. That's it. Now coming to the practical application, solar heaters, and then light colored clothes we will be wearing in summer, because it will absorb less heat. Now coming to working of the thermos flask. Flask, we know everybody will be having a flask at your home. You can just open and see, but you will not be able to see like this, because they are giving a longitudinal cut. That is, they have cut the flask if this is the flask, they are cutting and showing you like this, so that you can see all the layers. Okay. So what are the layers first? The flask is nothing but a body which will keep the body hot or a cold in for a long time. You can even put cold water inside, or you can keep even hot water. So what is this? It has an outer casing. The outer casing is made of plastic, because then only we can catch the flask. Otherwise, if it is also in metal, we cannot catch hold of the flask. Then inside the plastic casing, okay, you have a double-walled container which is made of glass or stainless steel. Okay, and both the walls are polished. Okay, and then between the two walls it is filled with vacuum. So there will be two walls, both are shiny and polished, and between the two walls this is the vacuum. Vacuum is totally nothing is there. So because why vacuum is? To prevent the heat loss because of conduction. Conduction, we know it required medium to circulate. So to remove the conduction, we have put this vacuum. Then the shiny surface will prevent the loss of radiation. The surface will be shiny, so that is prevent radiation. And there is a cap made up of what is this? This cap will prevent through convection. This is also through convection. And the thermos flask will maintain the temperature of the substance kept in it. So recalling this working, this outer layer, outer casing is made up of plastic or an insulator, so that we can catch it or prevent the loss through conduction. So first is the conduction. Then inside you have a double-walled object, or the double-walled container, which is made up of stainless steel, and it is polished, highly polished and shiny, so that it is not the shiny walls will prevent the heat through radiation. So conduction, radiation. And when the cap is closed, it will not allow the heat to go out through convection. And then between the two layers you are filled with vacuum. Vacuum is what? Without air. Why? When there is air, it will be starting circulating. So they have removed the air. So it is tightly packed. So again we are removing, or we are preventing the loss through conduction. Okay, so two conductions, one is radiation and another one is the convection. So this is how the thermos flask will maintain the temperature of the substance in it. Okay, we will see the rest of the portions in the next video. Okay children, thank you.